Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is July 25th, 2024 and Hansi Flick has been officially presented as Barcelona's new coach. Also, Nico Williams is expected to make a decision in regards to his future in the upcoming days. And finally, Joao Felix is currently negotiating with Aston Villa. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you head to Goal Kits, Skip Back, Fanatics. You have plenty of options there. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you head to Bet Us, where you can place bets on all sporting events from all around the world. All the links are down below in the description. Now I'll begin this video with the news that Hansi Flick was officially presented today as Barcelona's coach, a month or two after he was officially announced that he was going to be the next Barcelona manager. Now we know that this presentation was purposely delayed per Hansi Flick's request. He first wanted to arrive at the club, get to know the club, get to know the players, the structure, etc. That way when he did get presented and when he did have to answer questions by the press, he was prepared and be able to answer those questions. So finally the day was here and Flick was officially presented and he held his first official press conference. Now of course Flick started the press conference talking about how happy he was to be at the club, how happy he was to be the manager, blah blah blah, you know, the usual. He also talked about how happy he was with La Masia and how happy he was with the good job that Barcelona did in preparing and developing their players, and I have to say that's 1,000 times correct and true. I think we have one of the best, if not the best academies in the world. Some of the best players in history have come out of La Masia, and Flick seems to be very appreciative of this, which is ironic because last season a lot of the Xabi apologists used to tell me, oh, the reason Xabi is not doing well is because he has so many young players on his squad. And here we have Flick saying, oh, I love that I have so many young players on my squad because they're so skilled, they have so much potential, they improve every day in training, I can see them improving. So it seems for Flick that he's happy with that, but to the Xabi apologists, that seems to be a bad thing. Imagine thinking that having people like Lamine and Kouarsi is a bad thing. Anyways, now Flick was asked about his tactics, and this is what the German coach had to say. I'm not far from the idea that Barca have played before when they achieved success with Cruyff or Pep. My idea is to have an active team on the pitch who want to show what they can do with and without the ball. They can decide what they want to do. Initiative is important. It doesn't matter if we play 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. What I want is for us to play a beautiful, technical, good game, and for everyone watching the game to see that the team gives everything. Thank you, Hansi Flick. Flick saying many of the things I was saying last season, but when I said them, I was a hater, I was toxic, I was just hating on Xabi for no reason. But here Flick is saying a lot of the things that I was saying last season. First of all, how important it is for players to know what to do with, but also without the ball, which is something that the team did not know what to do last season. Not only did the team not know what to do whenever they lost the ball, did they not know what to do even when they had the ball. Because when one player had the ball, the other players who did not know what to do. They did not know how to get open, where to run, what kind of runs to make. There was no automatic passes. There was no mechanisms, none of that. And that showed how little the players knew what to do without the ball. And as a result, we saw that slow, sluggish, highly predictable football that became a characteristic of Xabi's tactics, I guess. And now Flick talking about the importance of knowing what to do with or without the ball. Another important point that Flick was made, that it doesn't matter what the formation is. It doesn't matter if it's 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. If you don't know what to do, if there's no structure in place, there's no mechanisms, if the team doesn't have an identity, it doesn't matter what formation you play, you're going to suck. And this is a very important point that I brought across all throughout the season. I remember when the season first started, Xavi would play 4-4-2, and people were like, why is he doing that? There's too many midfielders in the midfield. And then he switched to a 4-3-3, and people were like, no, he needs to play 4-2-3. And I said, it doesn't matter. If you don't have a system of play in place, it doesn't matter what formation you will play. It's going to suck. And then finally, Flick talking about the importance of playing beautiful technical football, because that's what people want to watch. That's how you win matches. And now, of course, goes opposed to what all the Xavi apologists used to say, well, we won the match. Sure, but how? That's also important, and Flick seems to know that point. Anyways, more statements, because Flick was asked about the squad, and the interesting point is that he brought up Ansu Fati without being asked about Ansu Fati. And this is what the German coach had to say. At the moment, we have a lot of players in every position and we can choose. As far as the situation, it's a pity because Ansu in the first few days had done some very good training. He was getting fit and he showed it on the pitch. It's not good to not have him here and not to have him on the tour. But we have to accept it and we have to help him come back stronger. Injuries don't always come at the best time. You have to accept that. Now, the interesting thing about these statements, again, Flick was not asked about Ansu. They asked him about the squad, and he brought it up himself, which I guess does confirm that news. They were saying that Flick was very impressed with Ansu, that he was very impressed with his trainings and how he was responding to the special plan that Flick and his trainers came up with for Ansu. And this confirms it because he did not have to bring it up. He was not asked about Ansu. He brought it up by himself. Which begs the question, is Flick that impressed with Ansu? And if so, does that mean he's going to keep him despite Ansu's injury? Now, another bit of statements that I thought was interesting. I'm not going to cover the whole interview, just the highlights that I thought were interesting. Flick was asked about the pressures that come with the job and the scrutiny that come with the job. And this is what the German coach had to say. It's my job. I'm the Barca coach and I know what's going on. Results are important, but in the end, you have to play well. Give everything on the pitch and prepare well for the games. And the players have to show it on the pitch. In training, it's very important to give 100% because then you can do it in the match. If you train at 60%, you can't play at 100%. There is no pressure. I will cope very well and I have my family to help me. Now, I really like these statements by Flick by saying, look, yes, there's a lot of pressure, but that's the job. You're the Barca coach. You're responsible for how the team plays and for the results. And I like that. Let's hope that Flick lives up to these statements because let's not forget, Xavi spent his whole time here at Barcelona complaining about the pressure, about the scrutiny. And it's like, what do you expect? You're at one of the biggest clubs in the world. Of course, there's going to be a lot of pressure. You're earning 8-10 million euros a season. Of course, there's going to be a lot of pressure. Do you think Apple CEO complains about the pressure of the job? Do you think the CEO of Microsoft complains? No, that comes with the job. You can't handle the pressure, get out of the job. You don't have to have it. It's not a must. It's not a necessity. Get out, go get a different job. Flick seems to understand this. He's saying it's part of the job. I can deal with it. Let's hope that Flick lives up to that. Now, these were all the highlights that I thought were important from, or that I thought were interesting from his interview. Of course, there was a lot more. If you want to check out the full interview or the full press conference, it is on Barca One. So far, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Hansi Flick's unveiling in all these statements I share with you? Let me know down below. Now on to the next news, because it's reported that Nico Williams could be deciding his future in the next few upcoming days. Now, as we know, Deco already met with Nico Williams' agent. He made the offer that Barcelona are willing to make Nico Williams, which is 5-year contract, 12 million euro salary gross. Now the club are awaiting the green light from Nico. If Nico agrees to these terms, then Barcelona will go to Athletic Club de Bilbao to pay his release clause, and Nico Williams will become Barcelona's a Barcelona player. Well, Nico has not given his answer yet because he was on vacation in Italy. And now it's reported that the Athletic Club de Bilbao attacker has landed back in Bilbao. He's only going to be there for a few days. And they're saying that during these days, he will decide his future on whether he stays at Athletic Club or whether he will join Barcelona. And after that, they're saying he will be going to Portugal to vacation with Lamine Yamal, who has become very, very close friends with him, especially during the Euros. And you might think, well, why do we care if he's vacationing with Lamine? Because that is important. Players not only want to go to clubs where they think they can succeed, they also want to go to clubs where, you know, they have friends, where they know they're going to get along with other players. And well, what better way to get along with a teammate than to end up going on vacation with him. Now, the last bit of news will be about Joao Felix, because it's reported that the Portuguese attacker is currently negotiating with Aston Villa. Now, it's reported that Joao Felix is negotiating with the Premier League team in regards to his personal terms, or personal terms, I guess that's what you would call them. And it's reported that Aston Villa are now looking to sign Joao Felix on a permanent basis. And if they do reach an agreement with the player, then they will start negotiating with Atletico de Madrid to sign the Portuguese star. Now, Aston Villa were first looking to take Joao Felix on loan, but per Unai Emery's request, who's the coach of Aston Villa will now look to sign Joao Felix on a permanent basis. We know Atletico Madrid are looking to offload Joao Felix on a permanent basis, and Aston Villa happen to have cash on hand because they just transferred Moussa Diaby to Saudi Arabia, so they have 60 million euros in cash. They can definitely pay for the player, and if Joao Felix says yes, then Aston Villa will pay for Joao Felix, and Joao Felix will be playing in the Premier League, which again, with each passing day, it's looking less and less likely that Joao will be coming back to Barcelona, which I say that's very good news. Anyways, that is all for this video. I did upload a video earlier today. Make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. And as always, peace, Barça.